So hi guys, and in the last tutorial I labeled the different network address. So as you can see, here are the labels that I recently made. So this is the part 3 of the tutorial on the Cisco packet tracer. So in this tutorial I'm gonna be labeling an IP address for all the ports right here in this routers and this PC. I'm gonna be labeling. um Unfortunately I will not assign it yet, but I will just label it first to avoid confusions. And if you don't know how to make this topology, make sure to watch my previous video. I will be leaving a link in the description below for all the parts, and this is the part 3. And if you want to watch on the very start, make sure to go on the part 1 of the tutorial to learn the very basics on making this topology. So if you don't want to miss that, just find the link in the description below. So to label, as I do it last time, select note or just press N on your keyboard, and then I will be labeling all the ports. So um, for your information, these ports right here represent a port. I mean, these dots, right? These red dots represent a port. So if you have a green dots, that means that is successful. That has a successful. And if you don't have a red dots, that means that is unsuccessful. So I'm gonna be labeling an IP address for this port right here. So we have to label we have to assign. So I will just label it first. So select node, and then I will just label an IP address for this port right here, 192.168. Let's just, so as you can see, the network address is 4.0. So to have an IP address of this one, so this port depends on this network address. So if you have a 4.0 network address, make sure to follow this. So just edit this one. So to assign, to label, so I will just label it first. You'll need to have 4 dot something. You can have 4.2, you can have 4.10, you can have 4.100, but the best thing is you have to select 4.1 for that port. That is my recommendation. So I will just move that, and that is the network address for this port right here. So we have to label an IP address for this one. So before assigning an IP address, make sure to label it first to avoid confusion, guys. That is the good thing about labeling. So the IP address for this one is depends on this network address. So we have let's say we have 3.0, and you can have 192.168 3 point something in there. You can have 3 point something. So let's just edit. Oh, I forgot to put dot on here. 192.168.3.0. So you can have anything 3 dot something, but I recommend you to have a common IP address to remember it quickly. And that is the IP address for this port right here. So I'm pretty sure now you know how to put an IP address for these ports right here. That dots represent a port, and I will just make it faster. So I already explained you how to um, label it. So 2.1, and this for this port 192.168.1.1. So in case you don't know, this IP address is the default gateway. This IP address is the default gateway. I mean, this IP address is the default gateway of these computers, and this IP address is the default gateway of this computer, and this IP address is the default gateway of here. I'm pretty sure you know that the default gateway. So I will not going to show you how to set an default gateway for this computer right now, but that is just a brief explanation. So we have already put an IP address or label an IP address for the fast Ethernet port. So as you can see, guys, the ports doesn't have names or labels. So to show labels for the ports, go to the option tab and make sure to select preferences, and then show port labels. Always show port labels. So close that. So as you can see, we have 192.168.6.0. That is a network address, and this one is the labels for the ports. As you can see right there, that is a port label. And make sure to have always show port labels, guys. So I will assign an IP address for the serial port right here. So I will assign a network address. I mean an IP address for this port, this port, this port, and this port, and this. So we have to assign. Oh, sorry for that. I've already assigned an IP address for this port right here. As you can see, you already have labeled it. For your information, I did not assign it yet, but I will just label it, and later you will going to know what is the importance of labeling. So the IP address for this depends on this network address. So you can have 192.168.6 point something. You can have 6.1 to 6 point. You can have 6.50, but you cannot have a 6.255. You can have that. It only accepts 1 to 254. And as you can see, we will label it 192.168.6.1. So as you can see, 6.0, and here 192.168.6.2. and for this network, it depends on this network address. So I will label an IP address for this port 192.168.5.1, and 192.168.5.2, and just move that right here. And in this part right here is 192.168.7.1, 192.168.7.2. So as you can see, I have to arrange it more widely. So range that. I'm pretty sure you know how to put an IP address for this port right now. So all you have to do is to label these computers right here, and it is pretty much easier. So just go into node. You can just select this one and edit this, and let's say 192.168.4.2. So we cannot use 4.1 because we already use it right here. So as you can see, we have used 4.1, and there is must be 4.2 or something, but I will just use 4.2. And this PC is 192.168.4.3. This PC is 192.168.4.4. You can have anything like 100, 190, and you cannot have 255 above. You can have 254 only, because 255 is the broadcast address, and above is not. It is only limited, so you can have 254 below. Also 254, you can have 254, but I will just use 4.4 right here. So 4.2, 4.3, 4.4, the same as this PC. So 192.168.3.0, and for this PC 192.168.3.3. So I have mistaken this thing right here. That is why can I edit? That is 3.2. Sorry for that. I have mistaken that. So oh, this PC right here is 192.168.3. Let's say 4. Yes, 3.2, 3.3, 3.4. And this PC right here is 192.168.2.2, because we already use 2.1, so you can use 2.2 in here. You cannot use 2.1. 192.168.2.3, 192.168.2.4, and then for this part, or this PC is 192.168.1.2. So as you can see, the network address 1.0, 1.2, because you already used the 1.1, have to use 1.2, 168.1.3, 192.168.1.4. So guys, I think that's it for this video. So just continue in the next video, and make sure to continue that. I will explain to you how did I do this IP, setting an IP Thank you for watching. See you on my next video.